Funky.
Hello, this is Yolanda Murphy, and welcome to this Exceptional Journey podcast, where you will find inspiration to live courageously through adversity, empowerment to live freely despite your past, and ignition to live boldly in your purpose, all by walking the survivor side of life. Good people, what's up? It is your girl Yolanda Murphy back with another episode of this Exceptional Journey podcast. How have you been? How are you doing? If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. Hope everything is well. Hope you got all your gifts wrapped for Christmas. Anyway, but thanks so much, guys, for clicking over as always to my little corner of the podcast world and rocking with me just for a little bit. First things first, before we get into the topic, let me go ahead and shout out my social media just real quick. I want to connect with you guys. I want to get to know you. So hit me up on Instagram or Facebook at This Exceptional Journey. And then you can hit me up on Twitter at TEJ Podcast. Even hashtag me, TEJ Podcast. Questions, comments, suggestions. I would love to hear from you and connect with you. So hit me up there. As you can tell from the title, 'tis the season, right? I wanted to come with a short episode really quick. As you can probably hear, it is the end of the night. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Isn't that how that goes? On Christmas Eve? Isn't I don't pay me any attention. But it's a really quiet evening here, and it got me to thinking, and I wanted to, like I said, really briefly discuss a few things about the holidays. As we all know, unless you live under a rock, of course, the holidays are like a good thing, right? They're supposed to be a good thing, depending upon, what you celebrate. I mean, it could be a Merry Christmas. It could be a happy Hanukkah. It could be a joyous Kwanzaa, just depending upon what your beliefs are. All of them are valid and happy and merry, all of those things to you. But the holidays between Thanksgiving, I think, kind of sets it off, and then into Christmas and New Year's, specifically for me, because I'm Christian. But for whatever you choose to celebrate, it's supposed to be a joyous occasion, right? And it is, it really is, and I'm grateful for this time. But let's talk about something just for a brief second. The holidays aren't joyous and happy and merry for everyone. And this is by no means, an episode to downplay anything or to talk bad about any religion or belief. Believe you me, like, no, no way, Jose. But I did want to face a few realities really quick. You guys can get back to your sipping on eggnog and chestnuts roasting on an open fire. But the first thing I wanted to discuss really quick is let's remember what the reason for the season is. Now, for me, again, being a Christian believing woman, the reason for my season is the birth of Jesus Christ. And, him lying in a manger, being born of a Virgin Mary. That's the reason for my season, specifically for Christmas. For you, it could be something different, but let's also remember there's a bigger overlying theme in modern times today as well, being that it's really to spend quality time with your friends and your family. Here's the kicker: holidays wouldn't be holidays if you didn't spend them with someone. And what do I mean by that? That to me means it still will be Christmas. Like, tomorrow will actually be Christmas Day. And it'll still be Christmas Day, whether or not I spend it with someone. But to me, what makes a holiday, whether it's you taking time off from work to get rest, or if it's you going away to visit someone, is spending time with those that you love. So to me, again, the reason for this season is not just the birth of JC, but also spending quality time with those that I love, and even in my community. You know what I mean? Not just my family and my close friends, but also maybe in my advocacy community, reaching out and telling everyone happy wishes and merry what have you, or even spending quality time in my religious community, my church. We did have a Christmas concert, so spending quality time with them and celebrating our reason for the season. But I guess what I'm saying is at some juncture, please do take into consideration the real reason that you celebrate this season. And that's just one of them for me. The other one is, let's be honest, we get caught up in the hustle and bustle, specifically if you have children or if you have loved ones that are expecting, I hope you hear my quotes, gifts. We get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the sales and Black Friday. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I did buy myself something on Black Friday, but I mean, I couldn't beat the price. But I say that to say we can very easily get caught up in the not the economist side, but the money side of things. To put it frank and honest, it's great to catch sales. I love electronics just like anyone else. If I had children, I'd be all the way down for those toy sales. But at the end of the day, are we really so say for example you have children, you get to let them pick out what toys they want out of maybe a toy catalog, or if they see something on television or on YouTube that they see that they like, maybe they're like, oh, add that to my Christmas list for Santa. Cool. Wonderful. But what are you teaching them on the other side of things? Are you teaching them to be kind? Are you teaching them to spread cheer, to be nice to someone else just because they can be? So I think another thing to remember as a reason for the season is just be nice and kind to other people. Just be nice. I mean, I was in Walmart, unfortunately, this evening before I went to Christmas Eve dinner over my brother's house, and it was a madhouse. I don't even know what made me think to go into Walmart, especially by my house. It's freaking ridiculous. But I needed something really quick. I grabbed it. I went into the electronics line because that's the shortest one. But it was a madhouse. And it really made me think about what's the real reason. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone that was in there wasn't buying like gifts and toys. Some people had groceries. It was just the timing, of the day they were closing like an hour or so, after I got there. But it really made me think like, really, like what is the point? It's great to get gifts. It's great to give gifts, but let's remember the season is more than just that. Cool? So then the second thing I wanted to briefly say is take time to self-reflect. Like I said, I went into Walmart today, and not just today, but over the course of the last couple weeks, I've been to Walmart a few times, and it's kind of always been pandemonium in certain sections of the store. Of course, because people are buying gifts, and they want their loved ones, of course, to have nice things. I can dig it. I did as well. But it really got me to self-reflecting because how much weight am I putting on making sure everyone has a gift? Or how much weight am I putting on making sure everyone has a gift that has a certain price tag on it? And I know I can't be the only one. And believe you me, I'm not out here spending hundreds or millions. But what I am doing is making sure each of my family members, that when we exchange gifts, it's a quality gift. But at the end of the day, though, what is the sacrifice of the gift? I mean, for my nephews, of course, it's to see children open gifts and be excited. But let's think about it as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, what really are we doing? We're exchanging gifts. That's great. But what does it mean to us, though? And then I really had to start to think about, well, what does it even mean, to buy gifts, of course, for my loved ones, but are we really gifting one another with anything else? Are we gifting one another with unconditional love? Are we gifting one another with grace, forgiveness, or kindness throughout the rest of the year? Or does it just come down to this one season? I get you a sweater, you get me some socks, and we keep it moving. So it really has me self-reflecting. I mean, this is not the first time or the first season that I've kind of sat back and thought about things, but this season I definitely did because, like I said, I was at Walmart and some other things I was exposed to. I was like, okay, let me wrestle with this for a little bit. Let me process this. So you can only speak for you. In this season of gift giving and spending quality time, I saw some of my friends on social media, just amazing family traditions that they have, whether it's matching PJs, making cookies Christmas Eve, doing the gingerbread houses with their children. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. That is probably the greatest quality time. First of all, that children will remember, and then as adults will remember as well. Or maybe it's a Christmas Eve party. You know what I mean? But spending quality time with those that you care about is essential. But in those moments, think about it. What does this mean? What does it mean for me to be spending this time or this money on a gift? Or can I equate the time that I'm spending to the amount of money that I'm spending, if that makes any sense? If it doesn't, hit me up in the comments. So that's that really quick. And then lastly, please do something kind for someone else. I read on one of my friends' Facebook page, I think it was either today or yesterday, that they were in Aldi near our area, and she witnessed a stranger, a complete stranger, standing at a register waiting for two people to come through, like two people with groceries, so that they can pay for their groceries. And apparently, you know what I mean, it must have touched my friend, because then, of course, she posted it and talked about how touched she was. She was not one of the people that received, but the fact that she was able to witness it blessed her. And I think that's important. I think that, again, in the hustle and bustle of the holidays, and of, again, from Thanksgiving to Black Friday to now and even to the new year, that we have to recognize and realize that we are what make the world go round. But just to be kind to one another, I think is important, because at the end of the day, it's us. You know what I mean? We are what makes the world go round. And, it doesn't hurt to be kind. Like, it just does not hurt to be kind. So, I mean, you don't have to stand in line, paying for someone's groceries, but check on your elderly neighbor. If you know that you live near an elderly couple, or an elderly mother, or husband and or wife, or widow or widower, check on them. Just make sure they're okay. Make sure they have maybe Christmas dinner, or maybe just sit with them for an hour, be chatty Cathy with them. It could really go a long way. It could really go a long way, and you never know, what people need. You can double check and say, hey, do you need anything? Do you need any groceries? And that's just one small thing I at least try to do, where I live, is make sure I check on those to make sure they're okay. They have meals for the holidays, and things like that. So I think that's really important. So, guys, that was really it. I mean, if anything, the takeaways would be, remember the reason for the season, and it's going to be different for everyone. Whatever it is for you, hone in on that and hide that in your heart, so that it'll then replicate to everything that you do in the season, with how you give, with how you spend time with your friends and family, with how you do gift to other people, but you also gift your time, you also gift your love, your forgiveness, your kindness, and your tenderness to others as well. And then take some time to self reflect. The holidays go past so quickly. I mean, I know I can't be the only one who can't believe that it's already the end of December and New Year's is in a week. Like, literally, it'll be January 1st in 7 days. That blows my mind. So take time to self reflect. Think about, from last holiday to this holiday, what things could be different, what things, could be carried over, what things could be changed. And then, see what you need to make a priority. Every year is different because we're different. You know what I mean? Every year we grow as people. And then lastly, again, do something nice for someone else. This season we kind of make it about us, and sometimes it is. You're off from work, you want to relax, especially, if, your work, I know some people where work is their quiet space. And then when they get home, like, all hell breaks loose. Like, they have 12,000 children, they have in-laws they're living with, they have dogs, they have partners. Like, it's a lot. So take time to be kind to others, check on others that are around you, and then also check on your family and friends. It doesn't hurt to do that. I have some friends that are here in the city but aren't from here. And I make sure I check with them every holiday, like, hey, are you good? Do you have dinner? If they're not going home, I want to make sure they're good. And it doesn't hurt. It's just a question, right? It doesn't hurt to do that, right? The one thing I do also want you to walk away with, though, is remember that every holiday season is not happy for everyone. I know for me personally, if you've listened to previous podcasts, in October, like end of October, beginning of November, I lost quite a few people to cancer. And it's been rough. It's really been difficult. It's always been in the back of my mind. And specifically during Christmas and New Year's and even Thanksgiving, it made me think about their families not having their loved ones. And it definitely affected me as well. So definitely check on people who may have had a loved one that passed away recently, or maybe someone who, again, maybe they're from out of town, but they don't have any connection to anyone here in the city. Maybe a coworker, someone that you've met in the coffee shop. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt just to check because, again, every holiday isn't joyous for everyone. So we definitely need to check and keep on one another because that's what we're here for. Again, we are what makes the world. We are what make the world go round. Makes the world go round. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm tired, but that's all I wanted to give you guys tonight. I hope you have a joyous, a prosperous, and a just exciting Christmas. Again, Merry Christmas if that's what you celebrate, joyous Kwanzaa, and then also Happy Hanukkah, or to anything else you celebrate. If you celebrate anything else, I want you to be joyous in that as well. So, again, guys, it's Yolanda Murphy. Thanks so much for rocking with me, and I'll check you guys on the next one.